All right, so let's start with the big story that we're tracking on WION at this hour. So it's taken some time coming. It's a journey of 7,000 kilometers. It's an intercontinental flight, and the first batch of the Rafale fighter jets that started off from France are expected to land at the Ambala Air Station any minute now. The Indian Defence Ministry has just released a video of India's game-changer aircraft entering into the Indian airspace for the very first time. The 5 Rafale fighter jets were seen being escorted by 2 of India's Sukhoi Su-30 MKIs. And what you're looking at are the scenes from the Ambala airbase, where preparations have been made to receive the 5 of the fighter jets. These are the first 5 fighter jets of a total of 36 that India has purchased from France. Now, the first batch of these state-of-the-art fighter planes will be landing at the Ambala Air Station any moment now, and these are the visuals that were put out by India's Defence Ministry just a little while back, where the 5 Rafale fighter jets that have now entered into the Indian airspace were seen being escorted by 2 of India's Sukhoi fighter jets. Now, the Rafale fighter jets are said to be a game changer in terms of India's air superiority. They can travel as fast as almost twice the speed of sound. They are said to be the 4.5 generation of the fighter jets. And a short while back, India's warship INS Kolkata also made its first radio contact with the incoming jets. INS Kolkata, which is deployed in the Arabian Sea, wished the Rafale squadron leader a safe landing at the Ambala airbase.
Indian naval warship Delta 63, welcome to the Indian Ocean.
Naval warship Delta 63, Arrow Leader, many thanks. Most reassuring to have an Indian warship guarding the seas.
Arrow Leader Delta 63, may you touch the sky with glory. Happy landings.
Delta 63, Arrow Leader, wish you fair winds. Happy hunting, over and out.
Journey from France to India saw the 5 jets making an overnight stop at the Al Dhafra base near Abu Dhabi. The Indian Air Force took to Twitter on Tuesday to showcase their new acquisition. The multiple pictures of the jets refueling mid-air were released by the IAF. The jets were refueled by 2 French Air Force tankers that are accompanying the Rafales. The jets are being flown by pilots of the Indian Air Force who have been trained by the Dassault Aviation, the company that has manufactured the Rafale fighter jets. The Section 144 has also been imposed near Ambala Air Base, and security has been beefed up ahead of Rafale's arrival. And Air Force Chief R.K.S. Baruria will be at the base to personally receive the fighter jets. He'll also be briefed by the Rafale pilots on their flying experience and also the training that they received in France. The 5 jets will be inducted into India's first Rafale squadron called the Golden Arrows, which will operate out of the Ambala Air Base. The Air Force is also looking to expedite the operationalization of the Rafales. The jets ordered by India are fitted with many specific modifications demanded by the Indian Air Force. These include the Israeli helmet-mounted displays, radar warning receivers, low-band jammers and infrared tracking systems, amongst other India-specific modifications that Indian government has asked the Dassault Aviation company to incorporate. So when all 36 Rafale jets will be delivered sometime in the year 2022, it will take India's total squadron strength to 32. It is still well below the 42 squadrons of the sanctioned strength. Now, Rafale is said to be a 4.5 generation fighter jet with a top speed of almost about 1.8 Mach. And it is also said to be a multi-role capable fighter jet that can be used in electronic warfare, in air defense, in ground support and also in in-depth strikes. Now, Rafale is said to be a game changer, allowing India to exercise air superiority in the region. China's J-20 Chengdu is a fifth-generation combat jet and is said to be the most likely adversary of India's Rafale. Now, Rafale is said to have been tested in live missions such as in Afghanistan, Libya and Mali, while China's J-20 fighter jet at this point of time has never been tested in a live war scenario. And also what is interesting at this point of time is that these are fighter jets that will be inducted and they will become operational in the year 2022. Now, the Indian government is hailing this as a game changer in many ways in terms of the capability of the Indian Air Force in carrying out several missions and also in establishing air superiority. Now, the overall empty weight of the Rafale fighter jet is said to be about 10 tons. It has a flight range of about 3,700 kilometers. This is the range that the Rafale can actually fly before it needs to be refueled, and it can be refueled mid-air, as what was displayed while the Rafales were flying from France to India. It can also fly at a height of about 50,000 feet, and this is has been touted as one of the most advanced fighter jets there is anywhere in the world. Now, the Rafale has 14 storage stations for weapons. This is, of course, going to be a key. A fighter jet is, of course, nothing without its weapons, and these are some of the weapons that the Rafale jet actually can carry on board with it. Now, the Rafale jet comes fitted with some of the most advanced Meteor air-to-air missiles. The 190-kilogram missile is said to have a beyond visual range of over 100 kilometers that can travel at a top speed of Mach 4. The F-16 jets that were used by Pakistan carry the AMRAAM missile, which has a beyond visual range of about 75 kilometers. And it is being said that the Rafales will outperform the Pakistani F-16 fighter jets in a dogfight. This is something that a lot of people say is something that is confirmed. But how will the Rafale fare against the Chinese J-20 Chengdu is something that a lot of people are looking at in terms of the tactics that will be employed and in terms of how air superiority will be exercised in the worst case scenario. But Rafale adds to the military arsenal that India already has. India has many capable fighter jets. The Sukhoi Mki-30s are said to be some of the finest fighter jets to exercise air superiority anywhere in the world. And the Rafales, of course, will add to India's military arsenal. Now, besides this, Rafale also come with what is known as the Scalp, the air-to-ground cruise missile that has a range of over 300 kilometers. It is a long-range, deep strike missile that the Rafale is fitted with. Now, besides the Meteor and the Scalp, the Mika air-to-air missile is also fitted on the Rafale, and this is used both in close-quarter dogfights and also in the beyond visual range strikes. Now, also what is interesting is that at the last minute, India had requested Dassault Aviation that the Rafale fighter jets that are being sent to India should be fitted with the Hammer. The Hammer is, of course, an acronym for the Highly Agile and Maneuverable Ammunition Extended Range. This is said to be an air-to-ground precision-guided missile that's produced by the French conglomerate Safran, and it is used against bunker-type hardened targets. And these are missiles that can take out targets in a range of about 70 kilometers. So these are some of the weapons that the Rafale can in fact carry, and it is these weapons that are fitted onto a fighter jet that make Rafale such a capable and potent aircraft. So these are some of the highlights. So we can expect the Rafale to land any moment now, and these are the visuals that were put out by the Indian Defence Ministry just a little while back, where the 5 Rafale fighter jets on their either flanks are being escorted by the Sukhoi Mki-30 fighter jets. Now, many people are saying that this is going to be a game changer. Remember, this of course is just one more addition to India's Air Force strength. But this is going to be an important factor. where defense acquisition has become so controversial and so sluggish in the Indian context. The fact that 5 of these Rafale fighter jets, the deal for which had been agreed in the year 2016, are now going to touch down on land in India is of course being viewed as a big achievement. And this is one more fighter jet in India's weaponry arsenal that we are getting to exercise air superiority in the region. It is fitted with some of the best missiles that you can think of, and in any scenario of a possible dogfight, the Indians would of course come out on the top. And to give us more information on this, we are joined in by WION's Siddhant Sibil, who's joining us with more information on the 5 Rafale jets that are expected to touch down in the Ambala Air Force Base in just a few moments from now. Good afternoon to you, Siddhant. Over to you. Give us the latest. What's happening?
Well, Mohammed, today is a historic day. 5 Rafale fighter jets have entered the Indian airspace and are shortly about to land at the Air Force Base in Ambala. It's a city in North India. But talking about the developments so far, in last 1 hour, 2 important developments have happened. One, of course, we have all heard the audio conversation between INS Kolkata, which is right now in Western Indian Ocean, and Rafale. Well, it is a short conversation, but the message is huge. A message of making sure that how the Indian Navy and the Indian Air Force are connected to each other. So as it entered the Indian zone of influence and the Indian airspace, it sent a message of camaraderie and, of course, how all platforms are on same page. Secondly, of course, we saw the visuals how Sukhoi, 2 Sukhois were leading the Rafale fighter jets, the 5 Rafale fighter jets. They had left UAE today morning at around 11:30 a.m. But if we talk analytically, this is a big booster shot for the Indian defense, the Air Force and the security architecture amidst a growing and aggressive China. We know the Chinese have been aggressive with its neighbors, including with India. So it is a booster shot. We know the other Rafale will be coming very soon, but as of now, we know the current 5 Rafale jets has 2 double-seater and 3 single-seater fighter jets, and of course we know the capabilities as well, and these can't be detected by radar. So number of high advanced features that will help the Indian Air Force. But by and large, if we talk about the diplomatic aspect and the military aspect, on diplomatic front, it shows the glowing camaraderie between the Indian side and the French side. In fact, the French envoy spoke to WION, and of course talked about how this is an outstanding plane.
Absolutely indeed, Siddhant. Do continue to stay on with us. This, of course, is a big moment, and it is a big step forward in India ramping up its own defense capabilities. Let's once again hear that interaction that we heard a little while back as the Rafale fighter jets entered into the Indian airspace and they managed to establish contact with one of India's warships.
Indian naval warship Delta 63. Welcome to the Indian Ocean.
Naval warship Delta 63, arrow leader, many thanks. Most reassuring to have an Indian warship guarding the seas.
Arrow leader Delta 63. May you touch the sky with glory. Happy landings.
Delta 63, arrow leader, wish you fair winds. Happy hunting, over and out.
All right, so that was the little interaction that we heard as soon as the Rafale fighter jets entered into the Indian airspace and they managed to establish contact with the Indian warship there. They expected to land any moment now at the Ambala Air Force Station. And my colleague Siddhant Sibil is, of course, live with us. Siddhant, you've been talking to many of the defense experts. You know, this is said to be in many ways a game changer. Defense acquisitions over the last few decades have been very, very sluggish in India. And the fact that we've managed to get 5 of these Rafale fighter jets, more to come, the total 36 will be in India by the year 2022. How is this now going to change India's capability in the skies? Siddhant, if you can hear me, my question to you was, you know, this is an important acquisition by India. India had ordered a total of 36 Rafale fighter jets, considering the fact that defense acquisitions are such a slow, sluggish process in India? How is this now going to change India's ability in terms of air superiority in the region? All right, we seem to have lost my colleague Siddhant Sibil there, but we'll try and get him back. This, of course, is the big development that is taking place at this hour, where 5 of the Rafale fighter jets that India had ordered in the year 2016, they are going to be touching down in the Ambala Air Force Base in just a few moments from now. We'll be getting you the latest in terms of what is happening. And this, of course, will be a big moment. And this is a crucial aspect in terms of how India carries forth its air defense.